Hi guys, it's Jodie here from OGE, and I know you've been waiting for the return of our Love Island chats, and we are back, baby. Now listen, I know that football didn't come home last night, and I'm not going to say any more on that, but it's fine, because I've got two absolute beauties who have made their way back to UK soil. I'm now joined by Emmanuel.
Hello.
It's so nice to see you both.
Thank you.
You're absolutely glowing. You look amazing, even though you were out last night.
It's the love.
It's the love glow. Listen, you're back. You're back home now. Have your feet even touched the ground? Has it just been a roller coaster?
Been chaos, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been
Crazy.
I didn't even imagine anything like this to happen. Like, it's been crazy. The amount of support we're getting is so nice, but also it's just I didn't expect this much. It's wild, but it's fun. It's great. I love it.
And then obviously we're just wanting to do loads of stuff together, so we're not sitting down. We're just constantly on the move and sort of eating loads and
Eating loads.
going out.
Do you feel like this is the most time you've spent now that you're actually out and it's just you two?
It's so different.
100%.
So
Yeah,
different.
because obviously we can actually just spend now all of our day together.
And we can talk about things with each other that we wouldn't want anyone to know. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
when you're in there, you got a mic on. Certain things you don't want anyone knowing. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
what are those things? Well, I'm getting
Oh, God, we can't talk about that.
oh, I see. How was After Sun? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was
God, I
good.
loved it. I had such a great time on After Sun. Yeah, I think it was nice for us to be able to just speak about everything,
Yeah,
you know.
I was nervous, to be honest.
He
I-
was
I
nervous,
thought
my
they were gonna try
baby.
and like pin some questions on us, obviously because of the way things went like on the show and stuff. But I felt like I handled it all right, didn't I?
You did amazing.
Yeah.
It's been one of the most shocking exits ever because it's been such a long time since someone's actually left. So
Yeah.
do you find that folk are still shocked that you're even out?
I think people are surprised, and people obviously didn't really understand. But obviously, it is 24 hours compared to an hour, so it is hard to understand when you don't see everything. But I'm so happy I'm out. Honestly, yeah. I think it was the best decision I made.
Well, talking about your time in the villa, obviously you two were going along really, really well. When was the moment where you kind of it clicked for you both, and you were like, "Yeah, I really like this person."
Straight away, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I knew straight away, really. Like,
Aw.
honestly, I went in the villa, because I went in as a bombshell, so I knew who was in there. And you have to give like your top 3 and all that. And I said, but going in, that I wanted Uma. Like, I put it in my group chats and everything.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's who I went for, obviously, and I made it pretty clear, didn't I?
Yeah, definitely. I think the moment it clicked for me would have been after we had the night away stay.
Which was pretty quick. That was like
Yeah, that was like
my
your
second
second
night.
day. Yeah. Then I was like, yes, this is my man.
Yeah.
and I think again, like we say this all the time, but people don't realize that everything is so much quicker, right? Because there's no phones, there's no
Yeah.
escape. It's just like you guys and them, the villa. Like that's it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a very intense environment because it's nothing like what the outside world is like. But it's almost nice because it feels more like genuine and natural. That's why, I think staying genuine in there is really important and true to
And
yourself.
you don't know anything about the other person in like terms of like socials and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's just purely off how you connect with each other, like
Yeah.
nothing else. So
Yeah.
it's like it's so pure, like, do you know what I mean? It's, I enjoyed it. I think it's really good.
I feel like you're in protective mode and it's so sweet because I feel like she's like holding him because I've been like, right, I'm going to grill you. She's like, no, I'm only joking. I'm really nice. However, no, so let's talk about going into Casa more then because everything was going swimmingly well. We were like, shall we buy a hat? When is the wedding? And then Casa
Yes.
is where everything went a bit Pete Tong. Now, I am the sort of person that doesn't believe in tests and all that. I think we're past GCSEs and all that, right? We're adults, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously, some people go into Casa thinking, I want to explore because, if you are going to be locked off, you've got to make sure that you definitely want to be on that person. So what was your mindset when you went into Casa?
Yeah, so obviously I think what we all have to understand is everyone is different and people deal with situations differently to each other. Looking back at it, I probably didn't deal with it the right way, but I am where I am now and I'm very happy. I felt like I hadn't explored fully in there, so the whole reason behind going on Love Island is to find someone. Like, I did feel like I found it in Uma, but in the back of my mind I was thinking like, have I really done myself justice? Have I looked around? Do you know what I mean? Not that I needed to do it, but yeah, I think there's other things that influence it as well. Like, it is a show. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you have to create telly. which I think everyone understands as well, that it is a TV show. But yeah, it wasn't my greatest move, but I feel like I've kind of made it up. So
We all make mistakes.
of course,
Exactly.
yeah.
Everyone makes mistakes, and I think also, you realised quite quickly.
I
after
realised so quickly, and like I nipped it in the bud with Lucy, and that wasn't shown on the telly. So
Right.
I told her very early on that I wasn't choosing that, and I told her you need to go speak to the boys because you're not coming back with me, kind of thing. And they didn't show it. So
And obviously, I feel like when it comes to Casa, the girls are just typically a bit more loyal, but then there's a bit of lads culture, holiday culture,
Yeah,
there's boy
of course.
culture. Is there a bit of pressure almost as well?
yeah, and you get carried away in certain moments. Do you know what I mean? Like it's pretty exciting.
with all the boys egging each other on.
Yeah, of course. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's seen it from the. I don't know what was shown because I haven't watched it back, but like you do get egged on. Do you know what I mean? And then and you get told you're doing nothing wrong, and
Yeah.
this is what you're here for, and you kind of just start believing it, and then one thing leads to another, and then you start freaking out because you've kissed a girl. And you just want Uma to come back. So
One thing that I have seen continuously that keeps popping up, because you are getting quite a lot of heat in the Instagram comments and stuff like that, but one
I
thing that
haven't
keeps
been looking.
there is quite a lot. There's quite a lot because obviously people just adore this one because she's an absolute icon. Like we know this. No, you really are. But one thing that keeps coming up is that the fact that your typical type is petite blondes. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But this is an absolute worldie. But I feel like I think I've got a type. But every single guy that I've been going out
Yeah.
with has been so different.
So my response to that is, like I don't have a type. Again, this is a TV show, petite blonde. It's total opposite to Uma. It is,
Honestly, I was like,
it is a
petite
show.
blonde.
it's a show, man. Do you know what I mean? I was putting on a show, so that's what
Yeah.
it is.
And I think obviously your ex before was.
Yeah, but I've been with girls that are like all different.
Yeah,
do you know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's not like.
I think we all think we've got a typical type, but then actually we don't really, do we? It's about the person, the personality.
Yeah.
Like Uma is just my type now. Do you know what I mean? So
And when I watched it back, you did say my type was
yeah.
petite
yeah.
blonde.
Well, that's what I said to you. You're my type now.
I know, forever and ever.
Did you have like a stereotypical type before you went in?
I don't think I've ever had a type. I just would say that my track record would say like basically Will.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Tall, like darker features, but like, tans. So Will.
Yeah. How relieved did you feel then when you walked back in? Because your face, you were so happy to see.
Oh my God. Before I walked back in, I was so nervous because you have to wait for quite a while to go back in. I was so nervous. Because obviously I knew the connection that we had, but obviously you never know. And because I had no contact with him and I was just missing him so much, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, if he stood there with another girl right now, I don't know what I'm going to do. So walking in, I was so nervous. My heart was racing so much. I couldn't breathe. And then I was so happy when I walked in. And because you can see the way that it's set up, you can
Well,
sort
so
of...
you could see through the little gap.
You can
So,
see
like,
through a little gap, so I saw the gap, but then I couldn't see if anyone was standing next to him, so I was like
so
rushing to
I
get around
seen
the
you
corner.
coming in on your own, but you couldn't see if I was still on my own. So
And then when I saw him alone, I was just like, oh, yes, my blueberry.
And it was like, finally, you're back, but then dun dun dun,
Yeah.
movie night.
So I was stood there, obviously dead happy that she'd come in, but I knew what was like next to come. So I just had to sort of roll with the punches, really, and just try and explain myself the best I could. Then when the movie night came, obviously you're actually seeing it with your own eyes. So
Yeah, I was
even,
like, oh.
it's even more difficult.
Rolling with the tapes of movie night, it always delivers, but this year it was a hard watch at times. What was the comment that you made that everyone went mad about because you wanted to? I did it because I wanted to.
Yeah.
Do you regret that?
Yeah, of course.
Was it a heat of the moment thing? There's a lot of ag going on. There's a lot of shouting. There's a lot of. Rah.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much I can actually say, but there's a lot goes into this. Like, it's not what you see on the screen. There's a lot more that goes into it. I regret saying it totally because at the end of the day, all I wanted to do was just say sorry. But
I think he wanted to.
I was under the impression that I had to stick by what I'd done.
Yeah.
We know what's going on, so
Right.
and there's only so much I can say.
Okay. And how did you feel? Because it wasn't great, was it?
No, it wasn't great. I was upset watching it, and I was embarrassed as well watching it. But I think, I sort of knew because we did manage to speak about things. I think I sort of knew what was going on. That's why I was just saying to him, just stop talking. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes it's just good to
Yeah.
just like
Like
not.
let me have my moment, but shush.
And movie
But,
night's so
yeah.
charged as well. There's so much like everyone and people stir it as well, and it just becomes a massive thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then the groveling happened, and obviously we don't see absolutely everything.
There
that
was so much more groveling to come.
I knew you would say this.
There was. I had some good things
Yeah,
planned,
did
and
you
then they
say
just
what you had
axed me
planned?
off. Should I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was. So this was the night of the steal, whatever you want to call it, from Ruben and Josh.
When I left.
The day I had organised to get like 100 red roses, some champagne up on the terrace, and they said you can't do it tonight. We're going to do it tomorrow,
Oh.
and got dumped that night.
Tomorrow never came.
Yeah,
Got flung
exactly.
out.
Never came.
No.
And how did you feel when the bombshells came in? Were you open, or were you just like, did you know deep down your heart was still?
I always knew that my heart was
Yeah.
with Will. Like I always knew. I think we were open. That was like the like technically we were open. Even though I wouldn't have wanted to get to know anyone, I felt like I wasn't sure if Will didn't close it off because like he didn't want to yet, or because we didn't speak about that until
Nah.
after.
And I feel like maybe Zach might have come across as like, you know, when the new bombshells came in, that I wasn't bothered because I genuinely knew how strong we were and that we were like fine. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't actually worried about them being
No,
there.
yeah. But I think
And I knew you were
obviously-
just trying to make me sweat.
yeah, I wanted to make Will sweat.
Yeah,
know
of
what I mean?
course.
Like I and I didn't want to like I just wanted to make Will sweat, but it was honestly too much for me. I didn't want to do it that much. I didn't want to like lead Ruben on in any way. He was so lovely about me and so sweet. But yeah, I just wanted to make Will sweat. So that the night that I was leaving, I was planning. Well, I was about to have a conversation with Ruben and just say like, listen, like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Don't
my head and
pick
my heart is
me,
with
yeah.
Will. Like, I don't want anything to come in between that. But then we got the text, so I couldn't.
And that was such an emotional watch, like in the history
Crazy.
of Love Island, like
Yeah.
just watching the tears. It was like,
Like
oh,
as soon
That's-
as you
that's-
sat down, you were crying.
Yeah, I think it sort of looked like it. I started crying when
You stood up.
when I stood up, but I was crying as soon as I sat down because I knew what was coming and because I was so frustrated at the fact that I didn't get the chance to go and say it to him as
Yeah.
I was literally getting up to say it to him when the text came through. So I think that's why I was so upset about it, because I knew what was coming and I was frustrated at the fact that I didn't get the opportunity to tell Ruben, you know, because it's not fair on him either. Yeah.
and you must have been so frustrated because you're thinking, I've got a bottle of champagne up there and red
Yeah,
roses. He's
yeah.
not going to get to
Yeah,
see it.
yeah.
It was crazy because I sensed that it was coming. Do you know what I mean? I feel like when I came in as a bombshell, you get to steal and stuff, and then I don't know. I didn't expect necessarily to go home, but yeah, I mean, I said to you the day before, like, would you somehow be leaving? I'd be leaving with you. Do you know what I mean?
I said that when we were going out for that night. I was speaking to Matilda and I was saying, "Oh, like I'm a bit worried about tonight." And then she said, "Why?" And I just said, "You know, like what if what happened? And I said, like, if that's the case, just so you know, I'm going straight away." There was no thought at all into like I wouldn't have wanted to be in there without Will. It would have been so weird because I think obviously if you're staying genuine to your feelings in there, why would you stay after the person that you care about the most? And for me, it takes so long to get to the place that I was anyway with Will. So I'm not just gonna jump back into something, you know, and try to scramble to find a connection in the last 2 weeks. It's just like not who I am at all.
I think a lot of people respect you for that as well.
Yeah.
Like, so in your head, as soon as Will was dumped, were you like, that's it, I'm going? Like,
Yeah, there was no point. Like, there's no point. I would have just been making everyone else upset. Also, I would have been like, I wouldn't have known what to do because I wouldn't have wanted to get into any new situations because I know where my heart was. Even though I've got so many friends and people that I love in the villa, Will wasn't there. So
And would you, vice versa then, as you were saying, would you have
Of
left?
course, yeah. I told her that the day before, not like for any other reason than that I meant it. Do you know what I mean? Like throughout the whole time, even like I said before I went in, I wanted to do
even before Casa, like he was speaking and saying that like he didn't say that he would leave before Casa, but he said that it would feel like fake for him to stay and like just weird because like
Yeah, you're the most beautiful girl in there by a country mile. Do you know what I mean? So like, I wasn't interested in anyone else.
I suddenly feel very much like a third wheel. But I love this. I love this energy. And so then obviously when you did leave, did you regret it or did you think, no, this feels right?
no, I didn't regret at all. Honestly, not at all. I think if I stayed, I would have regretted staying literally so much. I was happy to leave. I was in there for 5 weeks. You know, like that's quite a long time. And I think it would have been just fake if I stayed and just stay in Love Island. Like I didn't go in there to get to the final. You know what I mean? I went in there to find someone, and I found someone. So why would I leave? Why would I stay in there? You know, when he's not there.
And since leaving together, things have just been like great. haven't
Yeah,
they? Do you know what I mean?
perfect.
So like I said, I loved her when we got in the car after. You said it back, and then now she's my girlfriend. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
So,
yes, I was going to ask about this. So how did it all happen? We've seen a little snippet on the Instagram
looked good,
story.
didn't it?
was very good. Well done.
yeah. So so organised a little dinner for us at Inca with a like a show and all that, and then so I had some guy like. I had the key card in my hand, and then I was just like sat with Uma like this, and then the guy was taking the key card, and then
I can't. But I was just enjoying the show.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know anything that was going on.
and then he was and he got this company in to set it all up, and so I didn't know what it was going to look like. So even when I walked in, I was like surprised to see what it would look like.
Do you know, I had like, because he was saying on the way up, when we were on the way up.
I just started saying,
Yeah, he was just saying all this nice stuff. Like he was like, you know, I do mean everything I say when I say I love you and all of this and that. And I was like, oh, yeah, like thank you, same. And then like he just kept on going on until we got on the door, and I was like, I had a feeling that something was coming, but I didn't know for sure. And obviously that day as well, I said to him like,
yeah, as
how
we were going out, you were like,
I said, have you thought about how you're gonna ask me to be your girlfriend then? And he was like,
I was
obviously
like,
trying to.
I haven't thought about it.
Yeah,
yet.
he was trying to. I was like, oh my god, like okay. He was trying to keep the surprise, but it was good. I really loved it
Oh, it
every
was great.
second.
I was proud of it. Like.
I couldn't stop smiling for the whole night. My mouth hurt.
We love to see it. We love to see it. Do you realise, Emma, how much of an impact you've made? Like, the girlies love you.
I
Like,
love
you're an
them.
icon.
Oh my gosh. Do you know how that feels so crazy? Like, I literally love everyone. I'm so glad that my true personality and my like values and morals have come across in the show, because you never know what's being shown when you're in there. So I'm really glad. And I love everyone.
And I think that's maybe why people are feeling a bit protective of you,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously they love you and they just want to make sure that you're not going to break her heart.
Of course. I would hope though that everyone saw enough of me to know that I know that I'm not I'm not a silly girl. Do you know what I mean?
She's a very smart girl.
Yeah.
So people need to trust in and what she's
Yeah.
doing, you know what I'm saying?
So to the haters right now, what would you say to the haters that are like, oh, he's going to break her heart? What would you
So-
say? Address it.
I would say, don't worry about me, guys, at all, because I know what I'm doing. I'm a smart girl, and I don't love people for no reason.
And I'll say you've just watched a show, a TV show.
And that's the tea. That is the tea. So let's talk about last night's episode. Mimi and Ayo. Do we think it could reconnect, or what do we think about her and Josh?
Yeah, I think Josh is amazing. I think that he was very interested in Mimi and obviously wants to treat her like the queen that she absolutely is. But I also know how difficult it is when you're around someone who you have feelings for. You know, like they came out of the connection and they're not just gonna drop the connection they had. So I think I think anything she does will be from her true, genuine feelings. I think that I would need a bit of a slap on the wrist for what he's done, but I think, you know, anything she does I support. She's my absolute girl.
And did you see the teaser where Josh is kissing Grace and saying,
Oh my
what is that about?
Yeah.
I did see that actually. I actually forgot about that until now. I think maybe that could be him trying to like, because obviously I know he's been feeling a bit like shut out. So maybe that could be him like trying to like show Mimi maybe that like, you know, I don't know what that is. I didn't really like it, but
Yeah. And then Grace
wasn't
and
here for
Joey
it.
during that challenge. Like,
I know.
what is going on?
I know.
Yeah, it's a
Do you
weird
think
one.
there's still feelings there, or like?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's
That's why they act like that.
Yeah, I think that it's not as much as Joey says. I don't think that Grace is like really pressed about him and like thinking about him
No,
like,
no, I don't
like
think
that.
that,
But I
no.
think it would be weird, just as it would be weird for Mimi and Ios to not still have feelings. That would be weird for Grace and Joey too.
I feel like they've done so much now that they couldn't go back.
Yeah.
Like there's been that much around it that they couldn't go back. But I do feel like she definitely still wanted him
Right.
up until a certain point.
And we've only got like 2 weeks left now, so
I
who do you want
know.
to win?
So we think
Yeah.
obviously Nicole and Kieran have got such a great connection, and they have had from the start, you know. But also Matilda Shawn.
I would love Sean to win me.
Yeah,
like, he's so funny.
Yeah, honestly, and you know, being in there, they literally bounce off each other so much. And And just for me, anyone that Mimi's
Yeah.
decides to go with. So just Mimi
Just
on her
Mimi
own.
on her own,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think we could have won it if we were still in there.
Ooh.
I think if they had shown everything and shown like us.
I just feel like
Coming
we
back.
were so good, right? That and every day was just the same for us because we were that good. It wasn't really getting shown.
Just being like silly
They
and
only,
showing each other's
they only
time.
show
and
when there's
everything.
dramas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so when you're that good, you don't necessarily get shown much. Everyone in the villa was saying that we were the strongest. Like,
Oh, wow. But you're here now, and it's all
and
worked
we
out.
are the strongest.
Exactly.
Yay! So just finally then, I know you were talking about it on After Sun, you are most likely probably going to move in together because I know there's a distance thing. Are you scared of trains?
I'm so scared of trains.
Why?
Got a
I don't know what's
phobia.
going on. I don't know. Like suddenly, I just have a phobia of trains. Like I have been on trains before, and then like
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh because that's a serious thing.
it's,
but like,
it's actually really funny. Like I laugh at myself, but when I'm in the situation, I'm not laughing. I'm like, get me on the train. Yeah, I hate trains. So if anything, I would fly to Newcastle.
Yeah,
but I don't want to
sound.
do that. So he's just gonna have to always come down.
yeah, you just, yeah.
We're gonna go back soon though. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully this week.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna go back up there, Whitley Bay, and see my family. and
Yeah,
stuff,
you
so-
need to. It's gorgeous, gorgeous.
Oh my
up
god, I
there.
can't wait. He was showing me pictures of where he lives, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we're probably looking towards moving in together when things settle down.
yeah.
we need to get looking. So
Yeah. We go apartment
Okay.
shopping.
Well, remember me when you have the wedding. I want an invite.
Oh my god.
And will you be inviting the
course.
ex-editor of Vogue as well?
I absolutely will. He came to After Sun yesterday.
How was that?
Oh, amazing. I'm so like, I can't believe that I've got someone like that supporting me. He was saying to me that as soon as I came into the show, he was speaking to Maya because he's friends with Maya and was saying like, she's a star. So I'm so chuffed. And we've got some exciting things coming.
Cover of Vogue, please. Cover
Oh my
of
gosh,
Vogue.
I would faint. I literally would faint before I could even make the cover. I don't think I'd get on the cover because I'd
No, well, you deserve to be there. Listen, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure watching you.
you.
And I am sitting here, guys. You know, I try and stay impartial. The chemistry is very much real. It's off the
Aw.
wall, and I love to see it. I'm a little bit jealous, but I love to see it. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Cheers, bye.